Hey Taurus, this is Empress Rose here, and we're going to do your general reading. So these are general readings. So if it doesn't, so you take what applies and what resonates for you, and you leave what doesn't, and you can check your sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, all of that for additional information if you'd like. Otherwise, also, but I just imagine if you checked all of those, things might get a little confusing. So anyway, but if this one doesn't resonate, then check your other placements. So everything's been very thoroughly shuffled before I even turned on the camera, and let's get going. We're going to start with the Oracle Mystical Moments deck for a intuitive reading, and intuitive reading on an intuitive start to the reading, let's call it that. What do we have for Taurus? All right, Taurus, you got two. You have the Observer and Moon Dance. So the Observer is you're watching something. I'm starting to feel that this is like a medium, like through social media or something like that. You're watching something very intently, and maybe it's just, you're just focused. You're very focused on something. It's giving you ideas. There's some self-reflection involved. There's a commitment sort of to the thing that you're focused on. This might be a hobby, a passion, a person. You're watching somebody and you're very focused. You're observing something very closely, trying to understand it, trying to see it, trying to capture it. This is a photographer out in the field. Oddly, I kind of feel like you are watching this precarious journey, and both of them have the moon present. This self-reflection, or this reflected light, a dim light, not a bright light, not a lot of clarity, but you are having some clarity in the darkness. It starts out small, it gets much bigger. And this clarity helps you on your journey, on your moon dance. So you have sort of this very difficult journey. You have these three little birds here singing "Every Little Thing's Gonna Be All Right." So they're not going anywhere. That sense of certainty that things are gonna be okay isn't going anywhere. So you can, it's pretty reliable, I'd say. It's as reliable as we can get. As the energies shift, that's the energy right now. Everything's going to be okay. You have this balloon, this moon balloon, and you're moving across. There's a city below you. There isn't a lot of clarity. It's a fairly delicate journey and passage forward, and you're about halfway through. You do have support. You have sort of this divine support with you that is helping you to stay up, stay elevated, and keep putting one foot in front of the other. All right, we're gonna move to the Santa Muerte Tarot deck. I was just looking for more connection, and I'm not sure that, the way the cards came out, they are watching this process, this delicate process. But also there's a part of me that feels like these aren't necessarily related to the same thing. I mean, it does certainly look like you're watching yourself very intently. You're observing this moon dance. This dance through this darkness and through this uncertainty, where we're just using intuition and some reflection and some divine assistance to move forward very delicately with the situation. And for some reason, it just seems like you're very focused on that. You're extremely focused on this delicate passage. And you're about halfway through, and you are extremely focused on it. And you have some ideas for the future. You're hopeful for the future, for sure. But you're doing something that's requiring like almost all of your focus this week, and it's requiring faith and focus. All right, so we're going to move to the Santa Muerte Tarot, and these have been thoroughly pre-shuffled. This is just my My nervous shuffle off the high dive. Very in there. I was always terrible at diving into the pool. I hated swim lessons. I hated jumping in. I like it now, but I hated it as a child. It was too scary. Too much of a sudden shift. All right, Taurus, this is your past, this is your present, this is your inner landscape, this is an issue, this is your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Okay, we've got some confirmation here. Let's get started. I'm not going to just keep it to myself. All right, so in your recent past, you have this Ace of Wands. You had a new idea. I love this card because we have moonlight here. We don't see the moon, but we see the moonlight, and we see this beginning, this brand new, inspired, creative beginning, intuitive beginning. And you've been planted. It comes out of the swamp. It comes out of sort of like not the best situation, not the greatest. But you have everything you need here. It's very magical, kind of overnight. It just seemed like this idea occurred to you, and you're starting to grow, but you don't have sunlight. So this is a very intuitive beginning. Like, you don't know where this is going. You don't know. You're headed in the right direction, but that's almost just by luck. And it's sort of this mind flower, this mind idea. The sun will be coming out eventually in this deck, and you'll experience a lot of, that's the potential here, is the sun comes out eventually. But right now you just have, you're sort of in the dark. We have moonlight here, just a scant amount of moonlight. We have dusk in both of these. So it's sort of a dusk situation. Things were changing. Things were getting dark, and in the middle of that, you got this inspiration. Presently, however, you are experiencing the Five of Swords. This is a difficult situation in which there's no really good way out. You have to choose what you're going to sacrifice. You have to choose the child to sacrifice in this. You're going to have to sacrifice something. It could be a part of your integrity. It could be some money. It could be some safety and security. It could be something like that. Because what's happened here is you were trying to leave one difficult situation. You were running from robbers and thieves. You ran into a canyon, and then there's robbers and a different band of robbers and thieves coming for you. So you're sandwiched. You're boxed in on all sides. This is really uncomfortable. No wonder you're focused on trying to get out of this, doing this delicate dance to get out of this situation, because this is a difficult situation. You don't really have a lot of good options right now, and something's going to have to give. And so this is where you decide, which thing is more important to you. I've gotten this card when I've had to make some incredibly difficult decisions on whether I was going to allow someone to continue taking advantage of me, or if I was going to get a lawyer and protect myself. Well, the lawyer is expensive. I kind of want that money, but I'm also tired of this situation and I can't continue going on with it. So it's that kind of situation where, like, okay, do you want to pick your poison here, because something's going to hurt. And I'm laughing as I say that. I don't know why. That's cruel. I'm sorry. But it's just a situation we're all in from time to time, and there's not a good way out. So presently you're looking at a situation and you're not seeing a good way forward with it. Inner landscape, I like this because it's echoing this observer, this idea that you're watching yourself go through a difficult process, and you're very focused. This is being very focused on your feelings, which is this is a nice card for your inner landscape. You're not sharing how you feel. You're not sharing your feelings with anyone, but you're very focused on them. You're taking your emotional temperature a lot. You're very curious about, if this candy has set, what the temperature is. This is like, are your egg whites soft peaks or stiff peaks? That's sort of what you're trying to figure out in the situation. If your emotions, where they're at and what's going on, and you're coming at it with a lot of curiosity. The page is our curiosity learner vibe. So that's really great. You're looking very closely at your inner situation, at your inner world, and you're wondering, and you're just curious about it, observing. You're observing very closely your own emotions and your own feelings. This is a great place to be. At issue. Someone else just got this card. Pisces. At issue, we have the Devil card. So the Devil in this deck isn't bad. It's just it's sort of a bedeviling energy. It's sort of like, I don't know what possessed me to do that. That's the Devil here. Is something that's sort of a divine thing that sort of possesses you to do something that you don't even, you're not sure you understand. But here we take it in the reverse meaning. And this, so it has this addiction issue, this being bedeviled by something in the worst possible way, or having a contract. I mean, I keep coming up with a contract situation here. So having a contract that's not working in your favor, that's not benefiting you, that's actually working against you, that's obligated you to do something that's not in your favor, that isn't going to work for you. This can be like a spiritual contract, a real contract. This can be a controlling something that's very much out of your control, and it's being controlled. Whose control or what is controlling it doesn't necessarily have your best interest at heart. So this can be, alcoholism, addiction. So those things control us, and they're definitely not for our benefit or have our best interests at heart. So this is some things pulling some strings on you, that's pulling you in a direction you're not exactly thrilled to go in. I feel like you're not exactly thrilled to go in this. This is a treacherous journey. There's a lot of difficult, hard spots here, but somehow you're still feeling inspired. You're still feeling connected to you're very connected to your feelings, your emotions. You're keeping them private, but you're having to deal with something that's some sort of possessiveness or some sort of thing that has the control and that you don't have the control over. So yeah, this could be food. This could be alcoholism. That keeps coming up. But also, this could be a contract you signed a long time ago that's not working for your benefit. This is definitely not something outside of you is not working for your benefit anymore. And maybe you thought it would and it's not. In your environment, you have this Four of Cups. You have nothing really appeals to you right now. Nothing's exciting to you. You're drained. You're whatever is in this control, it's leaving you very drained and very tired. There's things around you, but you're not very interested in any of them. None of your options look good. Basically, it's the same as this card, this present card. In your environment, none of your options look really good right now. They all look a little dangerous, a little treacherous, and not very inspiring. You're not feeling, there's just no inspiration in your environment. You've got to keep going forward, but you're not feeling really like it's going to work out, or like, what's the point, sort of. And none of your options in your environment look good. You don't like any of them. In your to-do list, this is interesting. Your to-do list is this 10 of Wands. So it's a completion. It's a burden that you can lay down now. So this is saying to lay down this burden, to complete the journey, to complete the task, and put it to rest. So it's this 10 of Wands card. This is your wheelbarrows of stones. Put them to rest and let them be a castle, or bring them into a castle. This is also very base chakra stuff. This is dealing with self-worth, with worthiness to be alive, with being enough as you are, with having worth and value as the person that you are today. Not that you stop growing, but understanding that who you are today is good enough. So this has a lot to do with valuing yourself, valuing your life, valuing your time, your effort, and not just your effort, but just your very existence is of value here. And this is a transformation. You're transforming sort of your basic almost right to exist, or your so this has to do with base chakra stuff, a right to be here, a right to move forward, So this is asking you to complete a cycle. This is your to-do list. Put the burden down, put the stones down, transform the situation. When you transform the situation, this pile of stones becomes a castle. So this is asking you to put your burden down, finish up this job, make the decision, even though you don't like any of your options, and move forward. Possible outcome, yeah. Possible outcome is we're going to move away from a painful situation. This is asking you to make those final decisions, and to choose you, to choose your life, to choose your worth, your value over whatever around you is. Oh wow, okay. All right. Okay, that was something for me. I had a dream about this tarot reading several years ago, and so I just saw that and understood that. So you're putting down this burden, and you're going. The burden is your lack of self-worth. So this is asking you to preserve yourself, to act in a self-preservation way. So it's hard to see here what that way is going to be, but it wants you to go inside, and it wants you to understand that you have worth and value as you are today, as you present today, and to turn this difficulty, this burdened difficulty around, and how it wants you to turn that around is to value yourself. And I almost think that this is what's going on here, is you're in this difficult spot, this difficult journey. You're like halfway through. You're relying on intuition and looking into your emotions and feeling your emotions. You're really in touch with that right now, and you're halfway through a very difficult process, a very difficult journey. It could be internal, could be external. And here you are, you're dressed in red, which is reminiscent of this right here. And I think you're watching yourself, and you're valuing yourself, and you're valuing your journey, and you're putting a lot of focus in your journey. You're worried about yourself, and you're worried about how you're going to deal with this situation. And I think this is saying, you know, she's in the red here too. I think this is saying that you need to value that and value yourself. And even if you can just, if you're watching yourself go through something difficult, make sure you prioritize your own survival and your own survival and your own worth in this process. And I think she's admiring her worth, and she's watching her very carefully go make this very careful journey. So possible outcome is that you will, if you will choose to move away from this war-torn land here. And I think this is, you're on the shore here, and you're just launching off into a new place, a new beginning. You're hopeful that you're going to get to this new land where the sun is shining, but there is a lot of open water. You do have a guide with you that's going to bring, this could either be you, all of these characters can be you, or you can be the wounded in the boat. If you're too wounded by this, and it looks like you might be, you need to know that you do have a guide that's going to be helping ferry you across. It's going to be a slow journey, and there is open water ahead, so there could be some more treacherous work ahead here. But you could just be alone in this journey, completely bringing your own wounded self with you. But you're launching off of a shore that hasn't, that's been very bad for you, and has resulted. These swords all found their mark. So this is the launching off and moving on into a better place. Even though the journey is fraught, is not guaranteed, you're going to start making it. This is a possible outcome, and you're just going to start. I mean, it takes place on the shore that you're leaving here. So you're going to move forward. You're going to move away from this pain. You're going to choose to save yourself, save what's left of your self-worth, I want to say, or what's left of the situation, what's left of, and move forward to someplace better, protecting yourself and protecting your loved ones as you do so, and being protected. You're going to see that you deserve to be protected in this process, and that you deserve this help to move out of a painful situation and painful place. All right, Taurus. Well, I hope you have a great week. Even though this looks really awful, honestly. But there is this promise that you will get there, okay? And so anyway, so thank you so much for your likes and comments and subscribes. They do bring so much joy to me as I watch my little baby channel grow. So thank you so much. You guys are awesome.